Hey, you guys, here we are. Welcome to the Shella D. Bridgman Show. This is Shella D. Bridgman, and this is also my testimony. Woo, we made it, you guys. We made it. It is Saturday, December 12th, and we are here together. And I tell you, I've been giving away money. I've been finding money. That's an intro, right? No, true, facts. I was thrifting the other day, and there was a guy that showed up that they called over the intercom, something American, right? And I don't know what they're talking about. The guy was sitting, he looked like he was down on his luck, and he was sitting in the front of the store, and the manager came up and talked to him and said, asked him a couple questions, and he said yes. He showed him his wristband that he had just gotten out of the hospital, and he said, he told him something, and the young man was shopping. He said, well, we can give you X, Y, and Z, probably, like some pants and, an outfit or something like that, right? So the guy was walking around the store. I think I bought two things. I remember what they were now, but I bought two things, right? And the guy was walking around, and I was watching him, and I noticed that he was focused. He was focused on, what he was trying to get. He looked at some shoes, and he wanted to make sure that they were his size. He, how you look on the tongue of the shoe, and he wanted to make sure that they were his size. And I saw him with a pair of pants. I saw him with a brand new pair of socks. So he was trying to get an outfit, right? He ended up getting some tennis shoes. And but I noticed, you can tell when a person is concentrating, right? He was really concentrating. And here's the thing. I've been in stores. I tell you guys, right? I go to the dollar store almost every day, as frequently as I go to Walmart, and I see it's a hot store for thievery, right? They go in there and they got it together, right? They go in there with bags and everything, and they go to town because there's no alarms on that in the thrift stores. There's no alarms on stuff. There's oftentimes no security, and they get whatever they want and they leave, right? If I can see them, other people can see them, right? It's what they do, right? I've seen people in the thrift store. What they do is they leave their shoes. They try on the shoes, they put the shoes on, and they walk out. I've seen them. I saw a guy load up on a whole bunch of military outfits. The pants, the camouflage pants, and the jackets, and he left on out. I was like, okay, right? So you can say, just like you say, a person's stealing because they need something, because they're hungry or they don't have any clothes or whatever. But this guy, this is what struck me. The guy went and sat down calmly and quietly and asked and told them what he needed, and accepted the help that he was given. Whereas, like I said, I see people just in there stealing. They probably are down on their luck and this and that, but no, they steal. They take what they want. But this guy asked, and he was focused on getting what he was supposed to get. So I gave him $20. And I went ahead and did it because I was in there looking. I was looking for a jacket, but I realized there's no sense in buying anything because I'm just way too overweight to be buying any clothes. I need to just lose some weight and wear what I have, right? So because anything I put on, it just looked. I was gonna have to buy something like just way too big just to cover my body. You know what I mean? It's out of control. But look, I told you guys I was eating a pie a day, so it's not like, oh, feel sorry for me. I did it to myself, right? I don't have a condition. So the guy, I gave him the money because of what he did. I gave it what he did and how he did it because he asked for help. and he accepted what they offered him. He didn't say, well, can I, and this and that. He wasn't trying to negotiate anything. He just said, okay, and he went and got what they told him that he could get. So I gave, and I was in there shopping, and I said, I got to get out of here. I was going to try to wait for him outside, and I was trying to do it where there wasn't a scene. I didn't want, anybody to see really. So I saw him in one of the aisles, looking at some shoes, and I just gave it to him. He looked at me dead in the eyes and said, thank you, and you could see he was just focused. He was focused on what he needed to do, and I felt like that was enough for him to get a blanket or something while he was there, or because that's one of the cheapest stores. They wash everything. You can smell it. Everything is clean. You can get, you can get something for $3 or $5. You can get a shirt for $3. Some pants for $5. So everything is reasonably priced. So he could have really gotten, if he didn't have a blanket, if he didn't have a place, he could have gotten a blanket while he was still there with that money, and he could get him something to eat. So, but yeah, I gave it to him because I've seen the difference. I don't mean like one time. I see it all the time. That's what people do. They go, because in other stores, you have alarms and stuff like that. You might have some consequences and go to jail or something. But not in those dollar stores and not in the thrift stores. You just go and try on. You leave your shoes. You leave your shoes and get you some shoes and go on home. So or wherever you're going. But yeah, so I gave him $20, and I was laughing. I was saying to myself, in my lost videos, they're not lost, but they couldn't be uploaded, is that I'm blessed. I am blessed because there was a time when I would give you $5. I would give you $5, and now I've been giving people $20, and I'm blessed. I've acquired a couple new bills. It's a good little storage bill. And then I have my gym membership, but I'm good. I'm good. So, and I'm that's what I'm saying. I made some decisions, some choices, really following what God is telling me to do, but I'm in a position that I don't really have to worry if I have gas money, and that's a big deal for me, because I'm telling you, you might have a nice place, you might have a little job, you might have some clothes to wear, but when you have to worry, when you have to not go one extra stop because you're going to burn too much gas, and then you're not going to have enough to make it to work, that's too much stress, and I can't do that. So I feel like I have a hedge of protection around me. And I've even heard someone, I tell people that the truth when you hear it. And I really believe that there's an army of angels around me, protecting me and protecting my dog. He's been through some stuff. He almost choked one day. Another day he got into some detergent, and none of it. I was on the phone, and I happened to look just in enough nick of time that he didn't ingest any of it. I mean, like laundry detergent, like the powder, right? So there's a hedge of protection around us. I'm in God's will. There's nothing better than being in God's will. You can be in a high rise, living large and fancy, and you saw those planes flew through that building. Okay, so it's not any of that. You could be in the Walmart shopping, and you're there on the wrong day, and here comes Johnny Terrorist. I don't mean that in any kind of way, but that's what they call them. You know what I'm saying? That's like American soil people. That's just what they call people now. But yeah, I'm in God's will, and I'm in under His protection. And there's nothing safer than there's nothing better. So I'm in the position to be, what did it say, blessed to be a blessing. I have not. For as fancy, if I can tell you, I used to wear this kind of jewelry. I had so much of it that I gave it away. If I can, everything I had was monogrammed, from my glasses, drinking glasses, luggage, tailored boots to fit my legs. I can tell you, I can tell you all these things, but I'll tell you, I never had money to give away. Facts, full disclosure, I bought my niece a diamond ring. Facts. You know what I mean? I bought it for her. I bought it for her because she had a baby, and that was her fourth child. Her and her husband, that's their fourth child. She finally had a boy, so I don't know. Right? She got all little ones. They're all under a certain age. I'm not going to tell you, but she has all little kids, and she's a great mother. She's a good mother. So I bought her a diamond ring for herself. So when she's walking around her life in the middle of her day, she can look at that for herself. Because she's gonna give everything that she needs to give to her family and her kids. But I wanted her to have something for herself, and God told me to buy her a diamond ring, and I did, and it's a nice one. The kind that shines, the kind that you can see is not small. It's not none of that. It's something. It takes up space on the finger. Okay, and she has little hands, but still, it takes up space on the finger. I mean, it was pretty. I was looking at it, and I sent it to her through my brother. And my brother was telling me, because I told you I got my troubles. I got my troubles, and he's telling me you need to get your priorities straight, but he doesn't know. He doesn't understand. He doesn't understand. And yeah, for all of the fancy living that I've done, for all of the fancy things that I've had, and this and that. I mean, now I have a car that has all the Christmas lights on the inside, not because of the holiday, but because of the little problems that the car has. You know what I mean? But I have money to give away now, and I've never had that in my life. $5 was a lot for me. I had escalated to elevated to $5. Now I'm up to 20. I almost gave somebody 100. I was gonna give it to him, but he wouldn't take it. He wouldn't take it, and he had no idea that I really meant it. I went to the money and got the bank. Went to the money and got the bank. Lord, I went to the bank and got the money, and it wasn't going to impact me in any way. This is a big part of why I've made the decisions that I've made. Not just that. I mean, I'm following God, but it really feels good to be able to do something to help somebody that really needs help. You know. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, and I say this. I'm gonna give the other part of this, that sometimes you go someplace, you do something. It's not even. It wasn't even. Like you go all the way across town to a store to get a pair of shoes that you just knew the store had. They were on sale and everything. And you get there and they don't have your size. Maybe you're there for another reason. Maybe you're there for another reason. So stop, take a breath, look around and say, what is it? Is it this lady that's going through divorce that really needs a compliment today? Now you don't know she's going through divorce, but, maybe it's something that you need to do for somebody else. And that's the other part of what I want to say is, I've said before about people on disposable income and stuff like that, but it doesn't take money. It doesn't take money to do something good for somebody. It really doesn't. It could be holding the door for a man. You he was working hard all day. He has a family that he's taking care of. You're not trying to just do something nice for somebody. Do something nice. Look around you and think about what you can do for somebody else. What is Joy say is it's not all about you. I think she says that might be my cousin. Yeah. It's not all about you, but yeah. So all the days, all the messages, the videos that are, sitting and holding somewhere with the 1 hour messages. I got 2 hours sitting, what do they say, in the can, 2 hours in the can. But yeah, that's what I want to say to you. Everybody doesn't have disposable income. This is the first time in my life that I can give somebody $20 and not have tears because of it. You know what I'm saying? And I like it. I like it. But it's not all about money. It could be something else. So the other part about what I was telling you before is that in that same store there's the young man he's on the spectrum. He probably has autism, right? So one time I was in there, I gave him a compliment on his hair. The other day when I was in there, he had on a whole suit, a nice fitted suit. He's small, right? But he had on a nice fitted suit. I'm like, dang, he looks nice. Look at him. And so I say all that to say that he's really trying. He's not fast. It takes him a little minute. And when I was there the other day, they ended up, bringing out 2 other cashiers because the line was so long. But a Spanish-speaking lady came up and was asking me about how to get the 15% off. You have to go online and take the surveys and get the 15% off. And she came to me. Now, do I look like I'm Spanish-speaking? I don't know. But she came to me, and I talked to, one of the cashiers, and he didn't speak Spanish either, but he looked it up on his phone, and then it showed us how to navigate it on her phone, how to get there. She took the survey. I talked to her sister that spoke English, and they're over 65, right? I talked to her sister that speaks English, and she helped me to complete the survey, and it was on the lady's phone, but I was telling her, don't do anything, because she had the code on her phone, and I said, make sure you don't do anything. If it closes out, that's okay, where you have to put the code in. But I said, but if you get out of it, we won't be able to find it again, or you'll have to do it all over again. So she said, okay. So she went directly and got in line. So she got in line, then I got in line, and immediately when she walked to the guy that has the challenges, right? She said, I had the 15% off. I did the survey, right? And he understood what she said, and he said, okay, right? And he went and he was ringing up her stuff. Now, he's not doing it the way I showed him about laying the stuff out and folding it up together. He's just balling stuff up, putting it in the bag, but that's okay. Somebody probably said something to him like, you don't do it like that. But, so he heard what she said, and we finished. She finished before I did. And then she had this little top that she was buying for herself. What she shared with me is that the clothes that she was buying, they're going to be donated. And so, but she had this little top for herself, this little sexy top. And I was laughing, right? And she's like, yeah, I have like all these different colors. And I was laughing, right? Because, when a woman of a particular age is, focused on sexy, that's good, right? And so, but he completed her transaction with that 15%, right? So she left out, they left the store. She was saying, God bless you again. And I told her, I said, I know I am, right? I said, I know he is, right? She was trying to help get me the 15%. I was trying to tell her I'm good, right? I'm good. I'm okay, right? And so, so what I did was they left the store, and then I had my little 2 items, and I went to the guy that helped us to find the website or where you do the survey online, and I told him thank you so much. And I pointed out to him, I said he was the one that processed her 15% discount. I was trying to give the young man credit. I was trying to give him credit because he may not be the fastest one in the store, but he's trying. And he's trying because how he showed up looking for work in a suit, in a tan suit with his little tennis shoes on. He showed up dressed really nicely. That means he's trying to do his job. And I wanted them to acknowledge that. And he saw me, he looked at me like, and when I come to the store, he looks at me, he sees me, he knows, because people treat people that are different, they treat them like they're invisible, or like they don't matter, right? So he knows I see him. And so I told that guy, I said it out loud, I said, he processed that 15%. So I wanted to give him that credit. So I say all that to say that didn't cost me anything. That didn't cost me a dime to do any of that. But that's a guy he's a young man, and he has challenges, but they're allowing him to work there, and I want him to be able to take advantage of that, right? So so I say all that to say that I went all the way over there. I had just come from another store, thrifting, spending all kind of money, and went there too, and spent some more money, and only bought two things, and I thought I was going there to get some more stuff when I was really there to help him and to help that lady, you know. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you're there to help somebody else. Sometimes something is really about somebody else. Just take the time to stop and look around you and see what you can do. So it's not all about you. But I love you. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care.